live, sort of, maybe.
Kind of, almost. We're there, possibly.
Sort of. I think everything's in order. Let me make sure that my mic's working because we've had some technical difficulties in the past, and
we have had some testicle difficulties.
Let's just make sure that I holla. Yep, we're good to go. Welcome to the Melatonin Milkshakes podcast, episode 3. Your host,
episode Trace,
the Petty God, aka Diddy, aka your favorite bald black guy, and Emilio, aka Papa Pasta.
Nah. It's Mario Marinara.
We got a nice fucking show filled with a lot of content today. We've got video game releases. We've got Ellen DeGeneres. We've got TikTok updates.
Your was good.
And most importantly, we got your update on where I'm at on Death Note.
Yeah, which hasn't seemed to be too fucking far.
Oh, no. So I've been killing it with Death Note. So if you go by my Crunchyroll queue right now, right? I'm up to episode 5, right? However, I only watched episode 1 before I fell asleep because I didn't go to sleep in 24 hours. So, boom.
So realistically, you're still on episode 1.
I mean, I watched episode 1, 5 episodes watch me. I don't see what the difference is here.
There's still 40 other episodes you have to watch.
I will tell
you. What do you mean you see no difference?
I will tell you this, though. I will tell you this. Episode 1 has got me hooked in. So, like, episode 1...
Episode 5, you weak sir.
A book drops, right? He looks out the window and he sees it and he goes, oh...
Death Note. Let's use the right terminology here. Yeah. It's a Death Note.
Yeah. So the Death Note drops, right? Like, you know, for me, the new watcher who's not into it yet, but I get the concept and I'm hooked at this point, just off episode 1, right?
And it hooked you if you say, I'm not into it, but now I'm into it, but I know there's a book.
I mean, I'm into it. I'm just not into it like y'all into it because y'all know all the lore and, you know, to put respect on the Death Note's name. That's the difference. If y'all put the respect on his name.
Summoning, bro.
Oh, no. So, like I was saying, right? Episode 1, he's in class, right? Book drops out of the fucking blue. He looks out the window. He's like, oh, you know, what's that? I'm an A student. So, you know, I'm not paying attention in class. Whatever. So, you know, his curiosity gets the best of him. He goes into Death Note. He writes a name. He finds out people die when you write the name in it. Which, I got that concept, right? But what I didn't know...
Technically, he writes the name and is unsure if it works.
Yes. He's unsure.
Because he feels like it's still a hoax.
Yes. He's unsure if it works. You're right. And then someone dies. He's like, nah. That's a coincidence, dog. I'm going to kill somebody else. Then he does it again. And a guy gets hit by a truck. And I'm like, dang, crazy. So I'm like, yo, what's this dude going to do with the book? Now that he knows that the book does what the book does.
You haven't seen. You're still episode 1. Have you seen Ryuk yet? Has Ryuk come down from?
Yeah. He came down at the end of it. So you know, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, this is a cool concept. There's a book.
Yeah,
and it murks people, right? So I'm like, all right, that's decent. So I'm already hooked on that kind of premise or whatever. But then this dude goes crazy. There was a blank page in episode 1. At the end of episode 1, there's like pages filled out. He went crazy and just started murdering people left and right. I mean, they're bad guys.
So now you're at the point
he just starts murdering
where
people.
he's going to explain why he's doing it. If you haven't already seen him talk to Ryuk.
Well, no, he did start explaining. Like, he wants to be justice and he justifies his death. He is Thanos. He's Thanos in the world. No, he's Thanos in the world. He's getting rid of everybody.
Technically, he's not Thanos.
Nah,
he's Kira.
Murder criminals.
He's just murdering people left and right.
It's only criminals though.
So what, man? I still bubblegum.
Half of them were on death row anyway.
Man, look, I still bubblegum from. I gotta be scared to steal bubblegum from a store now because I might get my name written in a book or something. That's messed up. Nah, that's not cool.
Where's my pen?
What about the criminals? What about the criminals that didn't have a fair trial and you know they're in in jail and he don't know about that?
What is this fucking Law and Order SVU? You're taking this shit a different direction.
I'm just saying the dude's he's off his rocker. He's off his rocker.
Use the right name, Diddy. It's Akira.
He gets the book and then right after he gets the book, he just starts murdering people all over the world all day.
Man,
he's obsessed with it.
Anime.
He's obsessed with it, and he even wants to call himself
Kira.
He even wants to call himself God. He's like, I'm gonna be this world's God. I'm gonna be God.
Right. That's what Kira is. Bro. Kira decides life and death in the world. So he's going around it. That's fucked up. He's writing your name in the book, bro.
It don't even matter. You don't even know my middle name.
Give him like, let him live for the next 2 hours. We'll be good after that.
You ain't even know my middle name, so it's not even gonna work, homie.
He knows your face, your first name, and your last name.
Kira
That's all he needs to know.
spell check be my bad.
But yeah, this light Uragami cat, he's off his
Light
rocker.
Yagami. Bro, you're gonna trigger me.
Light Uragami. Light origami.
Yagami. Yaga.
Yeah,
Think of Yaga and me.
Yaga will baba me. How about that? This guy is off his rocker. Thanks for that follow, boy. I appreciate that.
Or as the Japanese would say, Yagami Raito.
Whatever, he's off his rocker. He thinks he's practically God, right? Like, he's going to get his up and comings at the end of the season, or at the end of the show. He's got to. I see it coming. But the boy's off his rocker. I want to see how he grows as a character. I find it interesting that he's off his rocker, but he went crazy.
But the thing is when you're crazy like that, like when he found out that he had that power, you have to think about it like this. Like the fact that they explained in the beginning of the show, too. So the number one student in all of Japan, helped his father also decide a case in the police unit. So you already know his level of intelligence is higher than anybody else's that are out there. So it meshes very well with that, I'm going to fucking kill everybody, and I'm extremely smart. He plots things out really well in the show. That's why you're going to be like, what the fuck is he doing? And then when he really starts to, like, you see the plot come all together, you're like, oh, okay, now I understand.
Man, look,
and there's also an Ayo scene in that anime, which we'll talk about when you get to it. But there's definitely some more shit going on in one of those episodes. I'm going to be real with you.
I get it. Like I said, I'm not completely against the dude. I like the concept. I kind of enjoy watching where he's going, but that don't stray from the fact that the bull's off his rocker. I don't care how smart you are. You know, if I'm an African American and I'm around somebody and then she say I raped her and now I'm in jail because everybody thinks I raped her and then he kills me because I didn't do something because somebody lied on me.
No, I think these were completely convicted felons in which they knew they did it. That's why he's doing it. You're taking this plot way too far.
I mean, that's what you're supposed to. You're supposed to think about stuff, right? That's
how you're supposed to look at shows. What are you, fucking NCIS?
I'm just saying, when I think about things, I think about how they pertain to me in the world, right? Like, I relate to characters. I relate to characters based off of what goes on in my life and how I perceive the world, right? That's why in Naruto, I don't respect Naruto because he's pretty much a kid born with God powers above everyone else. So when they say he works hard to get everything, he didn't work hard. So I respect Rock Lee because he's the only one that works hard. Like
but he did get his ass beat for almost all of the seasons leading up into Shippuden.
He did, but most of his powers or his abilities are based off of him having godlike powers trapped inside of his body and being able to utilize them. That's
all because of Minato, though. Minato was that OG.
Yeah, it's that and his bloodline. He was born to be powerful, right? That's him. So when they he worked hard to get here. I mean, I guess he kind of worked hard, but he learned the forbidden jutsu, and that's the only thing he knows. He uses that to train harder. He can train hard because he has practically unlimited stamina because he has the Nine Tails in his body. Right.
But technically, if we look at the beginning of that story when Minato and Madara were fighting, if Madara caught the Nine Tails, he never would have had that arc. Just saying. And he was pretty close to getting him.
I mean, you're right, but I'm just saying how I perceive him as a character. Like, I don't completely dislike his character. I just don't believe that he had to work as hard as others.
No, I didn't like him until he grew up.
You get what I'm saying?
Until Shippuden, I didn't like him.
Yeah, because he was just a whiny brat and all that stuff. But I'm just saying, all the concept of like the show's supposed to be, from what I gather, the show's supposed to be about, if you work hard at something, you'll get it or whatever. He's not the hardest working character or the hardest training character in his own show. So he doesn't encapsulate the meaning of the show, is what I'm saying. And it
didn't happen until the point of where he got older when he became Hokage, which was like now he actually started working hard. But now he uses such little effort as Hokage because he's so powerful. It's like all the buildup was for what? Yeah. You already knew he was that powerful. Now that he's Hokage, he just goes in, suck a dick jutsu, and then that's it. They're all dead.
He don't even use the sexy jutsu anymore. That's whack, bro. That's whack.
Clap it, bro. Let me get sexy jutsu for like 10 minutes.
In the deleted scenes, him and Hinata.
Yeah, boy, he was sexy jutsu in the fuck out of that room.
But back to Death Note, like I said. I'm liking the premise so far, and like I wish that I actually went to sleep in the 24-hour period to enjoy the next episode. So
it's a lot. That's the thing. It's a very it's a one season anime, but the story gets so deep, it's a lot to watch in one sitting, and that's like the biggest thing for me because like it took me a while to finish Death Note, and
Well,
I've watched it 4 or 5 times since then. But the first time you're watching it, you really got to fucking hammer in, watch it, sit there, enjoy it, and then go from there.
I mean, I can see because like I said, I watch episode 1, and what usually gets me in anime is like I look for animation, and like I usually look for plot last because a lot of anime's plots are like lackluster and they're basic and they're the same thing over and over. So when I look at an anime, I try to stray away from the plot because I know it's gonna upset me, right? So what really typically gets me into animes is the animation style, the choreography, and the fight scenes, right? I want eye candy, right? I want like rainbows to kids, candy to kids or whatever, right?
Right.
But I like Death Note so far because the entire episode 1 had none of the glitz and the glamour, and it was just based off of story, and that's something that I don't get that much because
That's why
I'm
I
so
showed
used
it
to
to
the
you
I'm used
because
to everything
I
else. So
felt
it's
that you're
pretty
so
dope.
used to the fighting animes. You're always looking for action. I told you this is a plot driven by intellect. I mean, yes, there are some scenes where it's not fight, but the intellectual battle he'll have between him and another person is fucking insane, and it kind of like derives you from watching the My Hero Academias, the Naruto's, the fucking Bakis. You're finally like taking a break away from that, all the fighting and all this. I'm gonna kick your ass and become the best. And it's like this is the opposite of that, where it's like he's a little fucked up. He figures out he has the power to kill anybody in the world, and he wants to make the world basically the best place it could be for his standards.
Yeah.
So it gives you like that evil and good kind of vibe because you're still trying to figure out where the fuck is he going with this.
Yeah, and I thoroughly enjoy it so far. I wish that more animes could mesh the two, right? Because I do enjoy the glitz and glamour, but I do enjoy a real good plot. I think Assassination Classroom did a good job at kind of meshing the two together with giving some like real world point of views on things. Like I think Assassination Classroom was brilliantly written because it gave you that action, and then it gave you that drama, it gave you that life lessons, and it gave you a plot that you actually felt for, right? Like episode 1, I didn't feel good about the teacher. Like I'm like, yo, this dick, like fuck him, murk him. But then like as it went on, I was like, oh my god, like everything is like the relationships grew, the story grew, it attacked every character, not just the main character, and it showed action, it showed glamour, it was everything, right? This Death Note gives me just the plot, but the plot is so good, it's good enough. I don't need the glamour. I don't need the brilliant animation styles.
And that's what kind of carries that show. Is the thing is the plot is so fucking deep, and you actually get engulfed in it to try and figure out like what's going on. All right, what is he gonna do next? Like there are risky spots in the show, which I'm not gonna tell you about, where you're like, all right, what the fuck is he gonna do now? And did he have any prerequisites to fix this situation that's happening now? It really like starts to get you involved because you're trying to figure out how many steps ahead is he really, or is he always behind the ball, but still comes out on top.
Yeah, like I'm curious to see what's going on. It's only, I mean, I looked at my queue. It's only like 37 episodes. I'm down episode 1. 4 other episodes watch me. I'm pretty sure I got more joy out of that one episode than the 5 episodes got out of watching me sleep. So I'm going to continue to watch and see where it takes me.
Well, that's life. But now we're going to move on into the new releases that are coming up within the next 3 months. Obviously, the newest release that just came out early July, which was end of July, early August, is Neo 2, new DLC, the Tengu's Disciple. I actually started playing this a little bit. Don't have an endgame character that can utilize any of the endgame shit yet. I'm only like level 25. But the new edition weapon, the Split Staff, is fucking insane. So what you're looking at now, the weapon on the back of that character, is the Split Staff that they're using. They're using a Switchblade as a primary, and then the weapon on their back is a Split Staff. So the Split Staff has like this bullshit move in a high stance, because there are stances in Neo, so there's low, medium, and high stance. In high stance, where the character is holding the Split Staff above their head, they break the Split Staff in half and then swing the blades around in a circular movement and keep pushing towards them. So it's kind of like it's staggerable at points, but the amount of damage if you go into magic with that fucking Split Staff is insane. Like I'm trying to redo my whole build to work around Split Staff because you can still get it early game.
I really got to get back into this game. I remember playing Neo 1 and it was very enjoyable. And then it was like 3 other games that came out in the midst of me trying to play Neo 1 that I also brought. And, it kind of went to the side. And then, I started game sharing with you. And then you got Neo 2 and you got the DLC. I'm like, oh my God, I got to get into Neo 2. But like, I still haven't finished Sekiro. I still haven't finished Ghost of Tsushima. I still got the Kingdom Hearts DLC. I got Devil May Cry. I still didn't touch yet. It's just a ton of games I have to get out of my backlog, and I need games to stop coming out so I can get to them.
That's the issue. Is like there's no downtime too, because all right, so like the gameplay you're looking at now, right? Easily, I could tell this person's invested 200 hours into this game, if not more. So you have to vest that much time into the game to get to 160. Which is, I believe it's 160, 170 is the newest difficulty for this DLC. So you already had to be there pre-game to jump into the DLC. You can't just jump into this without beating the rest of the story.
So what's the storyline to Neo? Because I know even when I played Neo 1, I broke out of prison and I just start murking cats, right?
So Neo 2 is the prerequisite to Neo 1. So like in Neo 1, when you played as William, you were trying to stop yokai, fix the earth, blah, blah, blah. In this, it's still rule old Japan. At this point, though, you are a half-breed yokai. So, like when he does those, they're essentially unblockable moves. But when the monk that he's fighting here, his name is Benkai. So that where he dodges in and he breaks his poise when he does that big red attack, you shift into a yokai. So this was prerequisites to the original game that's out, where you are actually half yokai. So it kind of follows that premise.
Is this before?
This is before Neo 1.
Okay, gotcha. I gotcha. So this is a prequel game then, right?
Yeah, with the way they explained it, they said this was the prequel to what Neo 1 is.
Okay,
so
that's dope.
They kind of tried to live off of that, but I mean, with the new DLC and that thick boy right there, that split staff, there is a very viable split staff build that I'm trying to push towards, but I don't have 90,000 credits to get another respec token because I bought like 3 already, but that's kind of besides the point. I now just have to farm and beat the shit out of everything that lives for me to be able to press forward, but it sucks because those games like Dark Souls, I'm like 3 deaths and I'm like, I want to throw my fucking controller and then go, I'm done, I don't want to play.
If I remember correctly from playing it fits the Dark Souls motif like perfectly, right? You die, you need to go back to your body to get your shit, and if you don't make it in time and die before you get your shit, you lose it permanently.
There's no time limit, but again, you're right. No time limit though, but it's all janky. Like if you fall off a roof into a river, your character don't swim. You just lost all the souls that you were trying to get.
Yeah.
So it's pretty fucking janky, which made me relatively upset.
Oh my God! You just reminded me. I still didn't beat Bloodborne either. God.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what? I went to Bloodborne. No lie, I went to Bloodborne like 10 different times. And when I mean 10 different times, I don't mean like I played it and put it down the next day and went. I mean like I played it for like weeks straight, and then something tilted me so bad I quit the game, and then went back next year. Like I quit that game 6 times. And I don't know why
Did you pick up where you left off, or did you make a whole new character?
Make a whole new character.
Yeah, see, I do that too.
When you put a game down for like a year and you come back,
you don't touch it.
Like you can't, like, it's no going back from where you started, right? Like mechanically, like how the buttons work, you don't retain that, and you don't retain what story you are, or even where you're supposed to go, especially when everything is so fucking dark and it looks the same, right? So like every time I go to Bloodborne, it's like I start and I'm like, I die immediately. I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm starting from scratch. Let's relearn the thing. And then I either get further or right before the part I got to before, and it's just like,
yeah, 100%. I agree. The only game I never did that with was Dark Souls, because like I think Dark Souls 2, I had 150 Havel Mage, and it was just like, all right, at this point, I was just fucking blowing through everything because it was so easy.
I think what I'm gonna do in the future is like when I start playing Neo again or Bloodborne again, I think before
you gotta delve, like you gotta jump.
Yeah, I think before I jump into it, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like watch someone play it, like maybe watch a speed run and then maybe read up on some stuff, right? Because at this point nothing's gonna spoil me. I know the fucking game's hard, and then go off of that and then dive into it full tilt, and
Well, you could look up like, don't watch speed runs, right? Obviously, because they're just going for fucking time. They're not showing you the layout of the game. Fighting
they're
count.
not. They're not showing you lay out the game, but and that's not what I look at speedruns for. I look at it because they do use very specific items to cheese the game. So then I know, hey, when I get to this part, I can use this item this way to just cheese shit, right? Like that's what they do.
Understandable, but at the same time, Neo 2, like Dark Souls, they want you to explore because there are these little tiny green people, Kodama spirits, and they give you blessings so they can increase the loot chances, Amrita drop, XP gained. You have to collect them. Sometimes in speedruns, they also just bypass it to get any percent. And you don't want to do that with Neo because Kodamas carry into every region you go into. So they follow like the whole premise of finding all the Kodamas in one spot, going to the next, they follow you, next. I watch the Fighting Cowboy on YouTube, and he has a whole Neo 2 walkthrough. He has all Neo 2 builds. He's updating Neo 2 builds for Jesus Christ, Tengu's Disciple. And he has everything up to date. He's showing you end game, what builds to use, what spirits to use. So if you want to figure out what you want to play, because like I like Split Staff right now, but Split Staff is really like a magic build. And magic is okay. It's not the best, and I'm only doing it because I want to beat the shit out of people with a staff.
But did he also do the same thing for Neo 1?
Oh yeah, he did it for both. He plays all Souls-likes, For Honor, all types of games, different games. But he did it for Neo 1, Neo 2. He's doing the full walkthrough of Neo 2's Tengu's Disciple also. I have to sneeze. Hold on.
Talk to him, Emilio.
God bless you.
Thank you. Alhamdulillah.
Speak those facts.
But it's actually a pretty good game. I mean, yes, there are parts where you can be cheesy, but the thing is like the fucking cheese with those kind of games sucks because you never end up getting what you need to get to move forward. You just pass it. And then you also have that factor, like if you cheese it, you fall in the water and die.
Yeah, that's true. But no, yeah. Like I said, I'm amped up to actually play the DLC, but I think before I get to that, I have to finish The Last of Us 2 and Ghost, and then go to those, and then
yeah, you have a lot you still have to beat. And the thing is I already got 25 hours delved into so technically that's an hour a level. I only got another 100 till I could play the DLC. So, let's just fucking keep that train a rolling. But to bring us to our next point, Call of Duty Warzone Season 5. I did do some research on this, and it looks like the release date for this is going to be August 5th. I know with Season 4, we had that pushback. Shit. I'd like to say we had pushback from 2 weeks to a month. We waited quite some time to get Season 4.
Are they changing anything? Like, are they?
Yeah, they're supposed to open up, I believe it's Stadium and Mall. Or it was just Stadium alone. First of all, why is this guy using a noob tube? I do not approve of this. I think they're opening up Stadium where you can actually finally see like what's going on inside of it. And they're also saying that some point or somewhere is supposed to be destroyed. And I don't know if it is Stadium that they're going to destroy, but now they're going to start destroying some of the map, which means finally we're going to get a map change, which is what really everybody's been asking for.
Are they going to actually change some of these weapons, like the Bruin that is almighty and all powerful? Are there any updates for that? I haven't read any patch notes on COD that much.
I haven't seen any patch notes on it. I have the Bruin. The Bruin absolutely does slay. Fucking disgusting. It's like a 2 with full armor, it's like a 568 millisecond or less, which is faster to kill than the Growl was. So that's insane. With no armor, it's a 286 millisecond kill time. It's absolutely nuts. The gun is completely busted, but people were also saying that the Bruin was really good before, but nobody was just using it. So I don't know if they're going to buff it or nerf it. Obviously, now that it's in, everybody's fucking using it. Like, let's be honest. There's nobody that's not using the Bruin right now.
And people that aren't using the Bruin are getting mad because everyone's using the Bruin.
Like, yeah, because
that's how it's working, right? Like
when we played the other night, when we were on top prom, and I was shooting at the guys across on bank. I downed 2 of them, and then we kept pushing them while Eddie moved forward. So I was able to down them in like 5 shots, and we were all able to push and get kills. So the Bruin is just, it outclasses a lot of guns. And if you have the right setup on it right now, it absolutely shreds. The only good thing about it was when we were doing like multiplayer to unlock it. I was doing it with Ray and Manny. And just the amount of smoke grenades we threw on shipment was fucking pissing everybody off. And it was great. Because we just would throw 100 smokes and then just thermal everybody. And they were like, don't throw smoke grenade. So it was actually pretty funny. But it takes a minute to get the gun. And the thing is like when you nerf shit like that, it sucks because now the ground got hit.
All the work that you put into it is wasted.
Right.
But at the same time, is it fair to keep it that way because it's so fucking broken? You know what I mean?
Not. Absolutely not. And people getting killed by it, I completely understand. Like, the Bruin is extremely frustrating to get killed by. Because the time to kill, no matter what you do, is insane. You're dead. There's no getting away from it. So, it's funny because it's kind of like how they did the Growl. They were like, oh, Growl got nerfed. I watch people, when we play Warzone and we get killed by the Growl, who have no fucking recoil, and I don't know what they're doing on their setup. The recoil was supposed to be buffed to a point where you couldn't continuously hold down the trigger like we used to and just laser people. But now they're using setups where the Growl is just like this, and they're still firing, doesn't move at all.
Did they not hit it as hard as it should have been hit, though? Is that the problem?
They nerfed the the Archangel or Arch Tempest barrel and the Nexus barrel, which were two of the best barrels for the Growl. They nerfed those so that the recoil compensation, the gun would buck up instead of staying straight like it used to. Because if you had Arch Tempest, VLK, and like a fucking Commando, you were just a laser. Like, nobody lived. It didn't matter what you did. You could run, you could hide. The Growl still came in and took your little muffler and then just fucking did everything to it.
So, here's my question. Was the Growl so good that the Bruin went unnoticed? Or did they change something to the Bruin to make it good? Right? Because it seems
that's where I don't know. Because, like, the Growl got buffed and everybody used it. The Growl was never buffed. The Growl was released and everybody figured out what the best setups were for it. Yeah. And then everybody used it.
And then they nerfed it, and then everyone went to the Bruin, right?
Like, right, and everybody had to find something else to use, and it just so happened like everybody. The thing is like everybody tried the M4, everybody tried the M16, and they were like, all right, this still shreds, but what kills faster? And then somebody came up with the fucking Bruin because it was a Season 4 unlock, I believe. Everybody got it and was like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and it just became new meta. Like, I run Bruin and MP5. MP5 got nerfed also, but it doesn't feel like it. I still shred.
I thought the go-to was MP7, right? Is that what...
No, MP5.
Okay. But yeah, so I'm curious to see if in Season 5 they do some balancing changes with the guns and see what the new meta is. Because I doubt they'll leave the Bruin up as long as they do, right? Like, they do look at shit like that, right? They look at how often weapons are used, how many people are using them, what people are doing. They're pretty in tune with their community and what's going on. I'm just curious on how long it's going to be God tier.
And that's the thing, you have to try and figure it out, but you don't know because it's a lot of the bitching comes from competitive play, right? So like people in competitive who play just multiplayer, it's not Warzone competitive, it's just competitive. They play and then it's like, all right, well, this gun isn't good. And then, who makes this game? Jesus Christ. Who's the publisher?
It's either Activision or...
I think it's Activision.
Yeah.
Activision goes back, and then they go, all right, it's too OP, nerf it. And then they nerf it. So we could see the Bruin take a hit in Season 5. We could not. We won't know until patch comes out. That's the only thing.
Are they basing nerfs off of Warzone alone, or are they basing off of multiplayer / Warzone, right?
I think they base nerfs off of... I honestly think, yes, it's part Warzone, but also I think they lean heavily on their competitive community. That's the thing. Like, when people were bitching about the MP5 in competitive, because everybody was fucking running it, they nerfed it. And the Growl was just... Everybody was using it. It was top tier. It didn't matter what you had. So a lot of competitive players will also complaining about other guns, too, and they just hit them with nerfs. So... It really just depends on like what they're gonna do, nerf wise. They're either gonna hit both guns or they're not. By the way, that team is absolutely fucking potato.
Yeah, they really laid back and got hit in the back and did nothing about it. That was stupid. But so my other question is, is the Growl or is the Bruin good in multiplayer as well? Like, is it
Yes,
OP in both modes?
absolutely.
Because I would assume that there's some guns that are only good in a Warzone scenario versus a multiplayer, team deathmatch, capture the flag, kill confirm,
Oh
type
no,
of
the
play.
Bruin still fucking slaps in multiplayer. I used it in multiplayer after I got it when we were trying to grind for it, and even the shit variant that I had still slapped. The time to kill in multiplayer is faster than Warzone because you got to remember there's no plates, so I was just fucking shredding.
Yeah, that makes sense. No plates does for a lot of things, right?
Yeah, because I mean it takes the time to kill down to at least like 258 milliseconds, something like that. It's real short. And if I brought the gun up before you brought your gun up, you were done. You were hasta la pasti.
Yeah, that's pretty much how any multiplayer mode works. I think Warzone is the only thing that gives you some leeway and some room, right? Like, Warzone gives you the room to, react versus multiplayer, but at the same token, multiplayer you get punished more. Well, you get punished less because you just have to respawn versus I'm dead for the map. So there's a balance between the two. Definitely a big balance.
And I just think they should buff other guns. They should let us, other people want to play other guns. Like I would like to try other guns. Like now, it's Bruin and FAL. FAL is fucking insane. Like it just doesn't. You pull that trigger as fast as you could shoot, and then it's over.
Yeah.
So they kind of, they got to work on it. They really have to work on it. But we can only wait to see what's going to happen with Season 5 when it drops on August 5th. So make sure you mark your calendars for that, because that should be the actual release date for Warzone Season 5.
I'm actually excited for it. Even though I just started playing Warzone again, I'm starting to get into it a little bit. So I'm starting to have fun with it, enjoy it. So.
Once you have people you can play with, it's way more fun. Solos is shit.
Yeah, so I'm excited to play, especially starting a new season playing, right? Because, like, I just came in at the ass end of the season, right? Starting a new season should be fun.
So let's touch on September's releases. These were 3 games that, one you haven't seen, one I already touched on the first podcast, which is Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning. I'm just giving out the release date for that because we've already covered gameplay, what it looks like, what they're going to do. That is going to be September 8th. So anybody that's looking forward to that, September 8th, that's going to drop. The big one, which has been going around a lot, which you haven't seen, and I've seen some beta gameplay of it, is Marvel's Avengers. Right now, that release date is set for September 4th. So this is supposed to be a co-op, story-driven game where you play as any of the Avengers. You have options to play Thor, Black Widow, Hulk, Miss Marvel, I believe it is, Iron Man, and we just talked about it yesterday. Who is getting an additional DLC?
Oh
Hawkeye.
yeah. And that was brilliant
Hawkeye.
that you said it that way, because I was about to shit on that, right? Because, like, the fact that you forgot the character speaks a lot.
Yeah, because
Hawkeye gets so much disrespect. I don't appreciate it.
And it's not that I was trying to do that. It's just I didn't remember his name. But you're right. It's gonna. So, first of all, I already don't like it. Right? Like, you're gonna add another character, but you're gonna put a paywall behind it. Not feeling that. Really not feeling that, because this whole game is supposed to be around other characters you could play in this and that. So why are you gonna put a block it behind the paywall to be like, all right, you know what? Let's add additional characters, but you got to pay $20. Supposedly, that's going to be the price tag for Hawkeye. Everybody knows nobody's going to buy Hawkeye.
If you're gonna
that's a flop for $20.
If you're going to put a price tag on it, put a price tag on, I don't know,
like, multiples. I give 4 characters, 5 characters.
Multiples, yeah, but like Hawkeye's not going to bring in the big bucks, right?
No, hell no.
Right?
The revenue on that is terrible.
Like, Iron Man might bring in the big bucks, but that he needs to be part of the regular roster. Maybe Spider-Man to bring in the big bucks, right? You put a gate on, like, Spider-Man, someone who's not really part of the Avengers, but you would like to play as, right? And that fits the narrative of, paying to get another character. Not saying that I'm for paying to get another character. I'm just saying, Hawkeye is, as you know, if everyone follows the movie verse, right? He's part of the original. You don't put a price tag on the original cast, right? You put a price tag on someone who is extra, right? Who was essentially an extra before the original cast, right? So, like, a Peter Parker, a Falcon, a Winter Soldier, even a Quicksilver, right? Like, you put a price tag on things like that.
I honestly could have seen a paywall that if you did an edition, right? Here's how I would do it. If I'm a dev for the game, and thank you for that, Ray. I'm gonna say that now. If I'm a dev for the game, right? What I'm gonna do is, okay, you have your original cast, OGs of Avengers. They're all out. Hawkeye, whoever else. I'm gonna put the season pass in, and anybody who doesn't get the season pass, I'm gonna make Guardians of the Galaxy 4 characters, 4 to 5 characters, additional characters to get. So then you get Groot, you get Drax, you get Rocket Raccoon, you get Chip, Clark, whatever the fuck his name is, who cares? And if you're following that arc also, I would love to see, because Venom technically does join the Guardians of the Galaxy, just saying there's an alternate universe
Yeah,
where Venom does join
that
them.
is true.
I would
Venom
love
actually
to see
joins a lot of different crews. Like, I look at Venom sort of how I look at, like, not as far as terms of what I like, because everyone knows for me Deadpool is God, but I look at him as like his story arcs and his side arcs. He's been a part of so many teams similar to like Deadpool, right?
Right. And Ray actually added a good note. He said that there's a rumor, supposedly, again, can't take this, it's, you know, it is what it is. Rumor that Spider-Man's going to only be available as PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which I understand.
Yeah,
Sony has those rights.
Yeah. But I mean, to Kovi's point that he just said, he said, "Fuck this bullshit," and I'm on the same fucking page. I think that this it looks glitzy, it looks glamorous, right? It looks great, but it is the it's going to follow the same trope of every game that is this type. It's going to be fun to play initially, but it looks the exact same way that every game that is Marvel Avengers or Marvel Versus or Marvel oriented is. It looks like it's going to suffer from that sloppy storyline, and it's going to be very repetitive, right?
Right.
They're going to give you a handful of characters. You're going to love to play them at the start, and then as the game goes on, it's going to die, and it's going to completely die off.
Be one of two things with this, right? This is going to be Marvel's version of Anthem, and it's going to fucking tank, where people are going to be so hyped for it in the beginning. They're going to be like, oh, this is great. Multiple characters, ton of loot, let's play. And eventually 3 months in, it's going to be like, what the fuck are you doing with the loot pools? What's going on with this? Because you have to remember, in this game, what they do, like what you're showing now, is gameplay from prior to showing UI or moves or any of that.
Yep.
Every character is going to have customizable options with gear, play styles, everything. So that means there's going to be loot. And you either fuck those loot tables up and make this a really bad game, or you have this become something that's really big. But again, like you said, it's an action RPG. It's action RPG with co-op. But there's always a storyline. Now, what are you going to do for endgame storyline? Are you going to have dungeons? Are you going to have raids? Are you going to have something like that in the version of Marvel's universe, where if I want to play with you and say Ray, Manny, Eddie, we could all jump into an activity, play together, have fun, get loot, beat the shit out of bosses. What are you going to do for endgame? That's my biggest question.
I want this game to work, I really do, but if I'm being completely honest, the best Marvel Avengers, Marvel-oriented game ever created, period, is Lego Marvel Heroes.
I love the little Lego Hulk.
No other Marvel game has
done
Lego
Hulk just smash
a better job than that. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed that. Legos makes better Marvel games than Marvel makes Marvel games. So I do wish this game the best. I just don't see it succeeding.
It's really a toss-up right now, to be honest with you. It's very up in the air, and I could see it either hitting or completely missing, and that's the thing. You don't want your game to become another Anthem, and Anthem is absolutely shit. I mean, I played it on beta, I played it on launch, I got the cap before everybody else did, and played the game. It was fun, but once they fucked up those loot pools, that was it. The game was trash, and everybody left. And now
Anthem is one of those games that, like, there's a lot of games as of recent that's kind of getting me jaded from buying, doing pre-orders, and Anthem was definitely one of them. I pre-ordered Anthem, I downloaded it, played it day one, and it was fun at first, and then died off extremely quickly, and that's my fear with a lot of games, and that might be part of what's getting me away from this Marvel Avengers game, because it looks good, but the rap sheet of Marvel games ain't good, and a lot of games right now is disappointing me.
You make a good point. Marvel Ultimate Alliance, when we played it on Switch, that was fun. I enjoyed that because there were so many different Marvel characters to play as, and it was enjoyable. But at the same time, if this tanks like Anthem tanks, it's fucking going down hard. And there's no way to recover from that. That's the biggest thing. Like, I mean, I've delved hundreds of hours into Anthem, and I told you, me and you played the Strider class, and we were like, this is fucking dope. You're a robot with knives, you're fucking spinning around, fucking sucking fucking anybody that gets in your way. And then it was like, all right, let's go do this heroic. All right, where's the loot? What did you get? Oh, I got consumables. What'd you get? The same fucking weapon I've had for 3 months? Why? I don't know. And then we stopped playing. Yeah. It just wasn't enjoyable. The class structure was great. I love the way they had the wizard, the warlock, the fucking strider, the heavy boy, the thick boy, the titan, whatever the fuck his name was. Great. It was enjoyable. But once you fuck that over, they squashed the whole idea, and now they want to do Anthem 2.0. So you're going to re-release another game. Are you giving it for free, or are you putting that $60 price tag on it?
I kind of give them kudos because they tried to fix the game later on, but then it was too late. Once you lose like 75% of your fan base, it's too late to fix the game, bro. Yeah. And that's what they did. They sat there, they put it out. People were giving legitimate complaints. Most of their fan base, most of the people who praised and were looking forward to the game gave their opinions on it. And then, after they lose 75% of their fan base, they want to fix the game and expect people to come back. And that's not how it works. Kobe, you're right. That's exactly what it is. It's improved upon Destiny. And I gave my opinions on Destiny a billion times already. Like, I don't understand it. And, BioWare, I'm nervous of their games from here on out too. But moving on, Outer Worlds Peril on Gorgon DLC. This is your wheelhouse, bud, because I don't know what this is about. Oh no, he DC'd. Technical difficulties.
Wait for it.
Okay, there we go. He's back.
And I'm back.
Okay. All right, good. Yeah. I was just talking for a while. Didn't realize you were DLC'd. I just thought you were just like roboting me, just looking at me.
Nah, it's gotta happen. It's gonna happen once or twice. It's a regular thing here. All right, so we're good. So our next point, which I believe I heard you say, but I wanted to make sure you were talking about it. Outer Worlds, Peril on Gorgon.
Yep.
So Outer Worlds is the sci-fi version of what I would see as Skyrim. So looter shooter. Obviously, you're going in, trying to get your builds, better weapons, going from spot to spot. I really enjoyed this game when it came out. It was extremely fun. This is now going to be the first DLC that they're launching. The game was also free on Game Pass. So that's kind of why I picked it up. It wasn't anything that you had to get yourself tied down to for dropping a price tag on. So I was like, all right, cool. Let's play. I enjoyed it. There's a lot of customization in your guns, character, armor, however you want to build it. You can just do the wackiest shit in this game. I mean, I had a fucking scythe weapon that did poison damage. And like you can see here, it's just the ragdoll physics. It's just like Skyrim with robots, weapons, and space. So realistically, this was a fun game to go into, to drop some shit, fuck some people up, follow a story arc if you wanted to be a complete jerk off or not. That was your choice in the game. I enjoyed the fuck out of it. Now that they're releasing a DLC, I'm surprised that it's actually coming to fruition because I didn't know how much traction the game was actually going to get. And you're absolutely right? There's a ton of dialogue in there, which gave you a lot of options to pick how you wanted to have your character play. So it's kind of like hero-villain-esque.
I've never really dove into an Outer Worlds series. To me, it's always come off as like Borderlands meets Fallout, but not as good. And that's just from me like seeing gameplay. And Covey kind of called it out in a different way. He just said Outer Worlds is the Fallout New Vegas that the devs making Fallout game without Bethesda's permission to do so, right? Like, it's a knockoff Fallout is what he's saying. I'm saying I think it's a mix between Fallout and Borderlands because it's got that wacky feel to it as well. I've never really dove into it. I don't have much interest in it, but I'm willing to try it out now that it's free.
I think the DLC is probably not free. That's the thing. You got to remember, the DLC is most likely going to have a price tag on it.
Yeah, but when they do that, right? They I think this is my opinion too. I think they give out games on Game Pass when DLC drops so that you can play the game, right? And then want to play the DLC.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So now that it's out on Game Pass, maybe I'll try it. Without paying for it and see if I actually do enjoy it. See if my opinions on the game, just watching gameplay matches what it's actually like to play it.
Right, and it's very story driven. So that's the thing. I know you like your story games. Ghost of Tsushima, all this other shit. Just think of this as going in there. Oh man, that's an alien. I'm gonna fuck his skull with my big giant gun of doom, and you can mod that gun of doom. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Again, it's a DLC. I already know there's probably going to be either a $20-$30 price tag on it. The game itself, I think, was $40 originally, so maybe they'll drop it down to $20 and make it a little bit cheaper. But that is going to release on September 9th.
September 9th. Looks like September is going to be hot up until the 9th. A lot of hot garbage games coming out, or hot games, depending on which way you want to look at it.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, there were definitely. I had a whole list of games for September that were coming out. I just picked and chose what I felt we would be into. Obviously, like there's your third-party games, fucking small development companies coming out with games too. And I wasn't going to put those on the list because, first of all, you and I were never going to know what the fuck they were. And second of all, if we start looking at the gameplay and it's hot dookie, we don't want to watch it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So moving on to November's releases. This was a big release that is coming out for the Assassin's Creed franchise. We kind of touched on this a little bit in the first one, but we haven't really delved too deep into it, how we feel about it, what's going on with it. So at this point, anything? Give me 1 second, buddy. Are you going? Or you
listen, I'm telling you right now. I'll take over for now. But the Assassin's Creed game that's coming out now, it looks dope. I watched the trailer, which is playing in the background right now. I would let her rub some of the gameplay. I'm sorry. I think I thoroughly enjoyed the move that it took from the last Assassin's Creed game. That it had the better open world feel, the new mechanics that that Assassin's Creed has evolved into. And I think that I'm gonna thoroughly enjoy this game because Assassin's Creed was one of those games that it came out year over year, and then it was good, then it was good, then it was bad, then it was good, then it was horrible, then it was bad, then it was subpar, right? It had a lot of a nice roller coaster ride, right? And it felt like they were just force feeding us Assassin's Creed without trying to build upon it. They were just giving us the Call of Duty treatment where they give us the same game year over year, different setting, same game. And the way that they changed the last game that came out, which I think was in Egypt or some shit.
So yeah, that was
Odyssey, right?
Egypt and Greek mythology.
Yeah. And I thoroughly enjoyed that one a shit ton. And this looks like it's going to be another change, and it's going to build upon those changes that it made previously. I don't know how Viking Assassin is going to work because usually Vikings are just fucking brutal, right? They don't do the sneaky sneaks, and
that's why I'm going to wait until you're done to give my point. So whenever you're finished, just throw me a fucking signal because I love to delve on this one. Being somebody who's played majority of the franchise, but feels completely differently than you do.
Oh yeah, I've played every game of the franchise, but but I will admit this. I'll openly admit this. Every time an Assassin's Creed comes out, because I am so biased over the game, I give it praise. And I'm hoping that this doesn't disappoint me. Like I said, the gameplay to me looks good. I mean, the scenes look good, but the scenes always look good to me. So I'm not too worried about that. But I'm curious to see how you feel about it.
Okay, so let's start with my feeling and intake on Assassin's Creed. Playing through the genre, I did enjoy the game in the beginning. The original Ezio catalog, that was extremely fun. Extremely fell off hard when the newer Assassin's Creeds came out because I kept seeing the same shit over and over again. I'm like, all right, this is just a different Ezio. This is just a different Ezio. This is just a different Ezio. I was like, what the fuck? You're not going to change anything. All right, yeah, okay, you cut off a pinky. Now you got to go get the hidden blade. I get it. I actually started playing Odyssey, and I was like, all right, you know what? I get the mechanics. I understand it. I like the usable abilities. You have more of a play style in the game because you can build. That's the biggest thing for me. I love games where you can build characters. With Valhalla, as soon as I saw the Vikings, being somebody who played For Honor, I was like, fuck yeah. I can't wait. Because Berserker in For Honor with the 2 fucking axes. I used to chickadee chop the shit out of people, kick them off of fucking cliffs, tell them to say hello to their mother, and I didn't give a fuck how they felt. BM them, I would hump the air. My only gripe with this game is going to be the voice acting. Now, I don't want some random white guy, not saying that it's bad, not putting it out there like that, but him being like, oh, yeah, you're Mengandar. Don't do that. That's the thing that like bothers me the most. Even in Odyssey, the male voice actor was shit compared to the female voice actor. In this game, they need to make sure that for Valhalla, you're using somebody who has that. All right, let's put it in perspective, right? The guy who does Kratos' voice in God of War, extremely fit for that position. We can easily agree on that. And yes, Kobe, you're right. Anybody who chose Alexis over Cassandra was developmentally disabled, in which we cannot say the R word because TOS. But yeah, you're right. And I hope they keep that, not keep the Cassandra premise in Valhalla. Get both of the voice actors to make sure that the voice acting in that is comparable to what Norse mythology would be. You wouldn't just want some random guy, for Valhalla. Like, nobody wants to hear that. I don't want to fucking hear that. And I didn't know how I felt about, like, all right, you're this big shit fuck tank of a Viking. You're, like, coupling on the side of a boat and just holding onto the side of the boat, climbing up shit. I was like, all right, I don't know how I feel about this. Then when I saw some of the gameplay, I was like, all right, this may or may not have a good twist on it. I'm not entirely too sure. But thoroughly, I feel like I'm going to enjoy the game because it's going to keep the same premise as Odyssey. You're going to have a buildable character. You're going to have weapons to swap to. You're going to have builds that you can go through, abilities. I think that's what's going to draw me into playing this game because I'm actually excited for Valhalla. Yeah. I didn't like any of the other ones, but Valhalla really struck a note with me where I was like, oh, I could be a big burly Viking? Fuck yeah.
Yeah, Kobe struck 2 points while you were talking, and we had the screen saying, like, he said that, like, you know, this Valhalla is getting away from the regular gameplay that was Assassin's Creed. He's saying it's hard to call it an Assassin's Creed game anymore, and I agree with that, you know, partially, right? Because, like, you know, it doesn't feel like an Assassin's Creed game anymore, but it's fun and it works. And the only reason they use Assassin's Creed in my eyes is because it's a sellable marketing title, right? And the other thing he brought is, like, Ezio is by far the most fucking interesting protagonist that there is so far, period. And I hope that they fix that sooner or later. I don't know how you can get more interesting than Ezio was. He had, what, 3 games, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I think he had
3 games, and they were all awesome, and it brought you into the character, where I don't really feel for the characters pretty much after that as much as I did Ezio at all. But like I said, all in all, this game looks fun. And
would you get your goddamn pointer out of my fucking eye? Thank you.
What?
You had the mouse pointer in my eyeball for like 2 minutes of talking, and you were eye fucking me.
Like that?
Stop.
Like that?
Stop, you son of a bitch.
And then I'll pick your nose. But like, but I mean, I'm looking now, and it looked like they brought back the ship battles, and a lot of people don't like the ship battles. I enjoyed ship battles. I enjoy boat battles, and now you get to do it on Viking little fucking boats. That's going to be fun for me. I thoroughly enjoy the Assassin's Creed series as a whole, even though I understand that Unity is a thing. But for the most part, they don't drop the ball often. When they do, they drop it big. I'm just hoping this isn't one where they drop it big.
I mean, I think it looks fucking phenomenal. I'll be completely honest with you. And you know me, I have a completely different perspective on this fucking series than you do. I either really like it or really fucking hate it. And that's kind of
I agree with you, Kobe.
rock with that. But with this, it looks like a game where I'm going to be like, all right. Like Neo. I'm going to be like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to put some hours into it. Why not? What am I going to lose?
Yeah, you can't lose much, right?
Life, brain cells. I tell you, there's a lot of things.
My only question is, are you going to get it on the PlayStation or the Xbox, since it's a single player
because
game?
You're looking at, all right, you know, why don't you talk to me offline about your debit transactions that you need to make with me, 50-50, bitch? Okay? Because you know where I solely stand with my buying of games is strictly on Xbox, but with you, I know. So let's put it this way: the reason why we game share is because we have similar taste in games on PlayStation. that are only for PlayStation. So like if Neo was on Xbox, I definitely would have been like, yo, you want to cop this? And we could have split that, no problem. I would have no issues with that. But because fucking PlayStation's a bunch of fucking cucks, and PC, they don't want to release it yet, Neo 2 gets copped on the PlayStation. And my PlayStation sounds like a fucking jet engine trying to play Neo, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the fact that every time I hear Nani, and my fucking PlayStation, I'm all right with that.
So now I got a fix for that, right? There's this thing right here. It's an invention that was made like years ago, and a lot of companies make them, but they help keep noise, outside noise, from hitting your ears, and
What's
they
that?
keep the game noise
What's that?
that you have in your ears, right? They're called headphones, right? And they
What's
have
that?
gaming noise cancellation headsets, so when you put them on, you can't hear anything on the outside, but you hear everything on the inside. And I think that might fix your loud PlayStation problem. So
I don't know what that is. You know what? Send me the link to those things. These are actually hearing aids.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Because I'm a little like if I take them off, I'm deaf without them. So I again, and point on that. Excited for the game.
Oh no, most definitely excited for the game.
For this week's releases on Steam, big MMO that came over, which is still alive somehow. Actually, a BioWare release, surprisingly. Star Wars: The Old Republic, that actually just hit Steam for free. I've been delving in on it a little bit. I have a level 15 assassin currently. Yeah, doesn't look the best as of that fucking clip that you're playing, but aesthetically, tab target MMO, it's just like how WoW is.
I actually might dive into it only because I love Star Wars and it's free.
Okay, so I, unlike like Eddie, right? Eddie's watched all the fucking Star Wars. Give the man credit, because I can't sit there and the only parts I like is that's it. I'm good with that, right? But this fucking MMO is actually, it brings me back to what Rift was, right? So I'm playing an assassin. So you think of assassin, tell me what you think.
You know, when I think of assassin, I always think of the sneaky sneaks, the dual wielding, the, you know.
No. What do you play, bitch? Tell me what your vision of an assassin. Don't tell me what an assassin is. I know what it is.
That's
what do you categorize?
I categorize it as roguelike or thief-like. Yeah.
That's what I was looking for. I appreciate you now. So it's cool because the fact of the matter is I'm playing an assassin that has two different damage builds, one based off of dot damage and then obviously single target and AoE for builds. And like Rift used to do, I mained a rogue in Rift, right? And I mained a bard. So the bard was a support class. You go in, you can still damage. You play your fucking loot. You have a good time. You let everybody suck and fucking get your buffs. My assassin, though, can technically be a tank in the game, which I love. I loved that in Rift also. I love the fact that I could play leather-based classes and still be a tank. I haven't delved too deep into the tanking because I don't know how to respec yet, to be completely honest with you. But
I didn't know. So Kobe just told me the game has been free to play for a while. But there's still a sub model for anything worth doing. So you still got to put a sub in for stuff. Okay.
I don't play. I don't sub. So subbing gives you access to certain features that you're still going to get if you're a free-to-play player. So, like, one of the biggest things is, like, I'm level 15. So, like, WoW, level 20, I get my mount. If you're a sub player, you get your mount at level 10. And you also, I believe, have the free will to, like, wear certain items, which I just found out today because I did a dungeon before we did the podcast. And I got, like, 3 items. I can't wear them because I'm not a sub. So it's kind of a pain in the ass that they like put it behind that wall, but at the same time, I'm still going to be able to get gear.
I got you.
So
I got you.
I've honestly enjoyed it. I'm not the biggest fucking Star Wars fan, but aesthetically and like with the PCs we have, it runs the game not too fucking bad. I went Sith because who doesn't want to electrocute people? I don't want to force choke anybody. I'm not into that shit. I want to fucking electrocute you. So I electrocute everybody. I don't even care how they feel. I just electrocute you at all players. But it came out on Steam. They pushed it to Steam. I didn't know it was free before. But as of right now, it is on Steam. You can play for free. You can have the option to be a premium player, I believe they called it. But that was the model they're looking for. I think it's the same thing like WoW, where it's like $14.99 a month, some shit like that. That's usually the regular pay model on a lot of these games. But again, enjoyable. I'm having my fun with it. It's fun. It's something different. I mean, obviously, I'm not playing WoW right now. I'm waiting for pre-patch to come out so I can dive back into that and then go from there. But as of right now, I mean, I've thoroughly enjoyed it for what it is.
That's fun. That's funny because I'm thinking about quitting WoW, but that's for another day. Shadowlands isn't looking as much as I thought it would be, so I might have wasted money on the pre-order. I might be playing it just off of the fact that I paid for it and I'm forced to play it at this point. Which I've never felt about any other WoW expansion I've paid for, because like Mist of Pandaria is the one I didn't play and I didn't buy it because I knew I wasn't gonna play it. Right? I knew it was trash ahead of time, but like from the news that I'm seeing on Shadowlands, I don't think I'm liking everything that I'm seeing, or not everything I'm seeing, but a lot that I'm seeing, and that's what's pushing me away from everything right now. But you want to hear a fun game? Think about Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. If it was playable, because this fucking game is awesome to me. It might not look the best, but this game is fucking amazing. And the game I'm talking about, obviously, is Grounded, right?
It's a mix, though. It's a mix. It's kind of like survival. It's like what the fuck is that other game? Rust. It's kind of like Rust and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Aesthetically, though, if you're playing on a PC, the game is fucking gorgeous. I have absolutely no issues with that game.
No, it is a fun game. I love, like, the story took like all but like, you know.
Okay, let's put it this way. I downloaded it yesterday and was just fucking around, and everybody was like, "Hey, let's play," and I was like, "All right, cool." So I just tried it last night. I beat the story in 20 minutes, literally not knowing what the fuck was going on. I beat the story in 20 minutes. I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess that's it."
I enjoy the game. I do not enjoy it as much playing by myself as I do with friends, though. I will point that out. I tried to play it a couple of times by myself, and I didn't get that far. But when I play with a group of friends, it is fun. Just building a house together or a camp together, hunting, you know, gnats, ticks, spiders, ants. Gotta get that ant armor. That's the first thing you gotta get is that ant armor. Beetles, ladybugs, right? Searching for that robot, doing your daily missions. The things that you can do in this game are they're just amazing, and it's very fun. And I thoroughly enjoy it so far. And you know, it's a Game Pass free game too. So you know, there's that. I guess it's a Game Pass preview, right? Because I guess something else is gonna come out from it.
Yeah, it's not fully out yet. It's still technically what they would consider alpha.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm liking it so far. You can interact with pretty much anything in that world, right? Whether it's blades of grass, you know, droplets of water, weeds, sap, dirt, pebbles, everything, and then you can just make a plethora of things out of it. And they have like a nice, unique system set up where like you can take the items that you have and you can analyze it to give you like more gear to make. And you get stronger by making them. They have different levels of spiders. I can't not talk about this game without talking about spiders, because if you play the game, you'll realize that spiders are scary. They're big, they're strong, they're stupid. There's different types of them, and
I got 2 shot on the first playthrough. Walked up, tried to grab something. Big old sucky fucky spider came out of nowhere, hit me once, and it was like, "Oh, enemy engaged." And I turned around and went, "What?" And the spider just went and just fucking killed me. So definitely don't fight them if you have no armor.
Jesus, I didn't even know. So even with max level armor, you get 2 shot by spiders. Spiders are just they are what they are, right?
Spiders are overpowered.
Yeah, they are. But
they need the.
And he just DC'd again. I'll wait till he comes back. But spiders are it adds to them being scary, right? So if you have arachnophobia, if you have a innate fear of spiders,
that's what they need to do.
He's coming back. Nope, he just paused again. If you have an innate fear of spiders, right? The 2-shot, 1-shot mechanic, it makes them more scarier than what they already are. And then like the different levels of spiders, the way they look, you know, they look like they hurt, right? So that's what gives you that big fear of spiders, and it makes them like a huge danger. So like I said, if you're already scared of spiders, you're in for a treat right here. And it looks like
you're back. And I think what Kofi's talking about cheesing them is like where you stand up on the rock and just shoot them with fucking arrows and they stay stagnant, and then you go in, you grab the arrows, you run back, and then just shoot them again. They're fucking terrible.
Don't arrows do like 2 HP on?
Doesn't matter. Shoot them in the head. They're fucking arrows. But yes, that DC'd a little bit out of Discord. I don't know why Discord always likes to act up, but it's Discord. But I enjoy it. I'm looking forward to playing it with multiple people so that we can kind of get a grasp on like a team instead of just single running around. Yeah.
It's definitely, like I said, it's definitely more enjoyable with a team of people than it is solo. And I think maybe part of what jaded me towards that, I think if I would have started playing it solo, maybe I would have had more fun playing it solo. But since I started as a team, I don't want to play by myself anymore. It's just
I could tell you now, you don't want to play it by yourself. I got killed by spiders, then I got killed by a fucking mite. I literally did everything to die and died. It wasn't fun. It's just you have to make the longevity of the game. Kind of like what Kofi just said. It is limited. You make the longevity. There's no getting around that. But again, it's a game that I want to play with friends.
Okay, so Kofi, we're not saying that we can't complete the game solo.
I beat it solo. I beat it solo. He did it.
It's just more fun to do it with a team, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying the game is hard in any form. I'm just saying like the way it is, like when you interact with people and you're making stuff and you're going out together and like something's chasing you, that the team atmosphere and the fun that it gives you and the interactions that it gives you while playing it makes it more fun. I don't enjoy it as much solo, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a possible Dark Souls game to play. It's hard. I'm just saying I enjoy it more with people than I by myself.
Yeah, and that'll bring us to the next point, which Blizzard is not claiming anything to right now. Diablo's Immortal. This was the mobile game for Diablo that they announced, and it fucking tanked at BlizzCon. Nobody wanted it. Everybody wanted Diablo 4. And we finally have a gameplay trailer from China Joy, who are the developers that are making this game. Just note that anybody who's watching, you won't see any gore in game because anything that's based in China, they usually regulate that out. So you won't see any gore, you won't see any skeletal corpses. The big difference, too, between this trailer and the previous trailer that they had for this game, when the Necro comes up, pause the video. He should be after the monk. So the big visual differences they did there. Now, okay, that Necro looks way too human-like. The original form factor of the Necro that they released or showed on release with this game, obviously in Western standards, was this is Western standards. Eastern standards of our own. He is fucking riddled. I mean, looks like he hasn't eaten in 6 months. He's got his ribs showing. His face is decaying. He looks like a necromancer. In this one, he looks like some shit out of Castlevania, like a Castlevania fuckboy, to be completely honest with you. This is the game that, like, even Blizzard themselves, when China Joy announced this trailer, Blizzard did not promote this game at all. I have not seen a single thing on Blizzard's fucking page or Diablo's page, anything for fucking Diablo Immortal. They do not, like, they want to backtrack so hard from this game, and I understand why. Nobody wants this. No one wants to play fucking Diablo on their phone. I'm sorry. If you do, there's something wrong with you. You're a pleb.
Listen, all right. I got 2 things to say about this. Right? 1, I am anti-mobile, and 2, I'm anti-Diablo. So this game ain't for me at all. I do not enjoy Diablo in general. I know I tried Diablo 3 and I tried to have fun with it and I tried to dive into it. I just don't understand games like Diablo or what was it, Path of the Exile. It's just not my thing. I don't know. So this is funny to me that Blizz won't pick this up.
They want nothing to do with this game.
Me being anti-mobile and me being anti-Diablo says this is a double no for me. Shit in the
Don't
bag
get me wrong.
twice.
I am super, super hyped for Diablo 4. So I've played all the fucking Diablos and beat the living shit out of Diablo 3 and then stopped and was waiting for 4 to come out because I'm like, all right, there's got to be something else. And Diablo 4 is looking like it's going to be Diablo 2, just reskinned, but with more additions, you know. The riding of the mounts, the climbing, the action skills. But with this, this completely fucking tanked. And the fact that Blizzard doesn't even want to say, like, hey, we dropped a trailer for China Joy and they're showing what the game is about. Or maybe they're just holding off until they can get the Eastern version of it done. I mean, I don't fucking know. You know, I mean, you're showing gameplay for China Joy, and obviously it's censored. There's no gore. Even when the Necro summoned his minions, if you notice, they're not skeletons. They have full-fledged skin on them. They don't show any fucking bone. So they kind of casually censor the game. So I'm waiting to see if Blizzard's really going to pump this out when they get their version of it or can make their version of the gameplay trailer. But all in all, it just does not look like a good game at all. Hands down, like, the fucking game looks terrible. I mean, I'm not... What am I going to... Put it on my iPhone and be like, haha, I play Diablo on my phone. No. If I want to fucking play Diablo, I'll play it on my computer or my Xbox. It's just that simple. You're going to have all these fucking plebs that hack the goddamn game on their phone. Just like Diablo 3 was when it first dropped, right? Diablo 3, first week, people had modded weapons, modded armor, and they were just shooting missiles out like a bunch of cum shots. It was disgusting. But when you got that stuff for free, it was pretty fun. I'm not going to lie. But I never beat the game with those characters. I used them for farming. But this is an atrocity. Nobody wants this, Blizzard. What we want is for fucking Shadowlands to get the goddamn release date that it deserves so we can start seeing when we're going to play the fucking game. No, of course, it's not supposed to be a continuation, Kofi, and I completely agree with that it's standalone. But at the same time, it's just still, you shouldn't have put this ahead of Diablo 4. That's where I'm at. If you're going to announce a big AAA title for yourself, just like Blizzard always does, you should have jumped on D4 before you did on this.
Listen.
No, they had to outsource it.
Since we're talking about shit things, let's kind of pick it up a little bit, right? So I don't know if you remember, I don't know how old you were in 1990.
Yeah, but they could have had some clips ready, Kobe. I mean, something. Let's be honest here. The fucking game's been in development forever. You could have had some, like, even if you showed a wizard taking a shit with fucking ball behind them, everybody would be like, oh my god, it's D4! They would have jumped. I would have jumped. I would have stuck 3 fingers in my ass and shot to the moon. But go ahead, Diddy. I'm sorry.
No, I don't know how old you were in 1996, but I do remember growing up to like one of the greatest movies ever made
3.
in time. Oh, you were 3? So you were not old enough to enjoy what is Space Jam?
Oh, I fucking love Space Jam. I watched that in 99.
Oh, 3 years too late, but hey, it is what it is. Space Jam is a classic. It's one of the...
All right.
Right? The reason I bring that up is because everyone knows that like LeBron James has been working on being in or producing Space Jam 2, and apparently they were filming it last year, and it's slated to be released July 16, 2021 with LeBron James. It even has the Black Panther director Ryan Coogler producing it as well. So
oh, really?
Yeah. So it's got a lot of big good names behind it, it seems. However, I just read a bit of news that
get into the talking point, because we know this don't seem like no fucking Space Jam.
Yeah, which makes it a little bit more skeptical, right? One, I don't know where they're gonna go with this storyline. I haven't read enough to know if the monsters are coming back or if there's some new big baddie. But 2, it seems as though it's not just going to be the Looney Tunes anymore. They are expanding on the WB verse, and that is a travesty. 1, LeBron James isn't Michael Jordan, and he'll never be as close to Michael Jordan as he thinks he is. And 2, I don't think that we should have Pennywise, the Mask, and the Joker inside of Space Jam 2. By the way, the Mask, played by Jim Carrey, is going to be in this movie. So it was leaked, and he's going to be the fucking referee. They are shoehorning in every property that WB has to offer in there, and that takes away from what the magic is to Space Jam, right? I want to see Looney Tunes versus something, right? Like that's what it is, right? That's what I enjoyed about it. I enjoyed the Looney Tunes. I don't need to see Pennywise on the sidelines or on the court.
First of all, what the fuck is Pennywise gonna do? Float to the rim?
I have no idea. And it's fucking Bill Skarsgård is taking the role again, like he's doing it. Pennywise is going to be completely CGI'd, and the original voice actor is in. Jared Leto is going to be playing the Joker. So it's they're pulling everything.
All right, thank you everybody for tuning in to the Melatonin Milkshake podcast. This was episode 3. We're gonna call it a night at this point because that is fucking bullshit.
Seriously, this movie.
You could have just fucking animated Mark Hamill's Joker and had him voice it.
Right? That would have been the play, right? Mark Hamill, iconic Joker, best Joker to date. Period.
Best boy. Best boy.
In animation terms, right? Best Joker to date in animation terms, right? But you drop the ball and you give us Jared Leto, right? You give us Pennywise, who no one wants, and you give us the Mask, who I will admit, after thinking about it now, would probably go for a hilarious referee, maybe.
Yeah, because it's Jim Carrey, and I understand that. But this is not fucking Space Jam.
It's not. It's not Space Jam. You're slapping everything in here. You're putting a basketball player in it. It's probably going to be some sort of tournament again, and you're throwing in people for the sake of throwing in people, which is a no-no. It's a no-no. You don't do that. You don't just throw in people because you have them. Like, you have to throw in people with a purpose, and you're just taking everything that you own and you're putting it in a basket, and you're giving it shock value, and you're hoping it hits, and it's not going to hit. It's going to flop. It's a bad idea. You should stop it, and that's just me talking. This movie's so bad, I might just go see it. I might go pay to see it just to laugh on how bad it is.
You can't. With fucking Wuhan virus #2 out there.
I mean, it's slated for July 2021, so
it's still gonna be around. We're still gonna have fucking the Wuhan. They're gonna have Wuhan special #3, where they found a bat with 14 wings that they ate, and it's gonna come to us again, just like it did the first time. Somebody's gonna fuck a bat, and then after they're done fucking it, we're gonna have Corona 2.0. Don't even look. Matter of fact, I hope we get it so that we don't have to see this shit movie in the theaters and it goes directly to any streaming service that buys it, because nobody's buying that movie for less than $5.
Oh no,
there's no way.
No way. If they wanted to do cameos and they wanted to add characters in it, like bring Michael Jordan in, put Bill Murray in it or something like that, something. But the Joker. Fuck! Bring Animaniacs or something. I can deal with that.
Absolutely, that's understandable.
I can Animaniacs. Those are good. Bring them in. That'll be
fun.
How
the fuck? What are you gonna do? You're gonna have Bugs Bunny, fucking going against Pennywise? How's he gonna block D on Pennywise, bro? Let's be real. I'm not a fucking basketball expert, but the height ratio don't really match up.
No, not at all. Not at all.
What is Elmer Fudd gonna shoot fucking the Joker in the face? I hope he does shoot the Joker in the face.
Wasn't Elmer Fudd referee last movie?
Yeah, right? Elmer Fudd was in there.
So he got fired for the Mask?
They need to fire everybody that wrote the movie.
I honestly think that this is going to be a bad look for Ryan Coogler, right? He did Black Panther, he got all the praise for it, and all that's going to be, it's going to look like it was a fluke because he's got his name in Space Jam 2.
Yeah, especially as director. There's no way. People are going to be like, you made the Black Panther and you made Space Jam?
Oh, no.
Nah, we're good, dog.
You know who else is in this? One of my favorite actors to date, period, Don Cheadle. He's in this too.
What the fuck is Don Cheadle doing in this movie?
I have no idea. But Don Chino's Jesus Christ, Don Chino.
Whoa, easy there, killer.
He's got me mad. I'm fucking up his name. I don't care. The Don.
We're that disappointed in Don Cheadle that his name doesn't matter anymore.
No, it does not matter at all. I'm disappointed that he would even consider signing up for this movie when he's a fucking. He's got that Marvel
He did
money.
the fucking 9/11 movie with Adam Sandler, which was I enjoyed it. It was a good fucking character for him to portray. And Don Cheadle's done other great movies. And then you go, what could I do to fuck my career up? Space Jam 2.
Have you ever seen what are they called? The twins that do comedy stand up. They were in 22 Jump Street or something like that. They have a stand up. What are they called? The Joyce Twins. Hold on.
I don't know why you want to see it. There is no
the Lucas brothers
good side of this.
The Lucas brothers, yeah. So the Lucas brothers had a.
Might I add before you touch on that? Do not find them funny whatsoever.
No, I don't find them funny, except for in the one stand-up that they did have a funny bit, and I think it's hilarious to this day.
A funny bit and a whole funny set.
You're
totally
right.
different.
You're absolutely right. But they I think Space Jam 1 was a fluke that it succeeded, right? Like, think about the premise. Think about the premise, right? Like, I'm playing with Looney Tunes for aliens, right? And it worked. and it was magical, and I don't think that you can get the same thing from Space Jam 2, right? Like, I think that Space Jam 1 was a fluke, a successful fluke, right? I don't think it should have worked, and if anyone else would have done it, it wouldn't have worked. And you know, like I said, the Lucas brothers, they had to understand that they were like, they wonder how they got how Jordan got. I think with Charles Barkley was in Space Jam 2 for a minute, right? It was like, yeah. He was like, they were like, I wonder how they got Charles, how Michael Jordan got him in there. They you know, they played the call where like Jordan called Charles Barkley, and he was like, "Yo."
One brother played Jordan, one brother played Charles. But I've seen that skit.
Yeah. And then he was like, and then Charles was like, "Hold on." So Shaq's on the other line, and then Shaq was like, "Magical genie," and then Charles Barkley hung up and was like, "I'm with it."
Yeah, because he's in fucking Kazam, and that movie was terrible.
And that's what I'm saying, right? Like, I'm saying, like, both of those movies, Space Jam could have been Shazam, right? Just on premise alone, and it worked. And they're trying to make something, in my eyes, that was very, very sketchy work. I don't think Space Jam 2 is going to work.
Space Jam ever would have been Kazam. Shaq made it rain cheeseburgers. Thank God that never happened in Space Jam. Yes, I could never fuck. And him, I am Kazam, motherfucker. Play my beatbox. I do shit. Like, I don't know where the fuck he came up with that idea, but terrible. Absolutely terrible. I don't see this being good.
No,
the Mask, Joker, and Pennywise. What the fuck? Just make a fucking DC basketball team.
And I don't know if that's what they're gonna do, because I don't think that's gonna work neither. It's gonna be the fucking DC, the WB.
None of the villains should be playing fucking basketball.
The WB villains versus the Looney Tunes. Like what? How
is Bugs Bunny gonna get slowly massacred by the Joker cutting his neck with a serrated knife? Like, is this gonna be rated R? Where are we going with this?
You have too many sketchy characters in this movie for it to work. You have a sketchy premise. I don't enjoy LeBron James as an actor. He's a phenomenal basketball player.
Acting not too good.
He's not a good actor, right?
Stick to the commercials and the playing.
I don't see where this is going. I don't see how this is going to work. And I don't see how this is going to be a win for anybody whose name is involved in this piece of shit.
Fucking tank. You know how many kids from the 90s grew up and then saw Space Jam and that are now parents, right? Are going to be like, I used to watch Space Jam as a fucking kid. Space Jam 2, hey kids, you want to go see it? And then they get in the movie theater and the kid's like, Daddy, what the fuck was this? If I had kids, I would openly look at my kid and go, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was going to be this shit.
Oh no, check this out. You ready for it? Are you ready for it?
Oh, please tell me there's a photo.
That is what's going in Space Jam 2.
What, bruh? First of all, that is the most budget-looking Pennywise and Joker I've ever seen. Are you sure you pulled this up and this wasn't like a Cornhub video that they were trying to do?
I pulled it up on multiple sources just to make sure that I was reading the right thing. This is the third source and news site that I've seen, other than the other two that I've seen as well. This is all over the place. I don't understand it.
This needs to be all over the trash can is where it needs to be. This is not good.
No, it's not a good look for anyone involved. I pray for
I
the
do not agree
involved.
with this at all.
I think the only one that's making it out here alive is Don Cheadle.
Well, him and Jim Carrey's always going to make it.
Yeah, because they're them, right? So, you know, they can't be tarnished too much, right?
For the fact, yes, Ty, it does sound hilarious, but at the same time, based off the premise of the original, this ain't going to be shit. Like, let's be real. We've all seen Space Jam. Space Jam was it was a hit.
Yeah.
Space Jam was a hit. This, based off that fucking Bukkake shit screenshot we just saw, that's not a hit. I would rather watch some grunge snuff film than watch that being cast on fucking movies.
I will tell you this, right? I would still think it'd be a shit idea, but I would be more intrigued if they had those characters in animated versus...
Which I agree with. You should animate the characters.
Because you're going to have animated Looney Tunes. If you don't, this movie means nothing.
Yeah, you're going to have them D'ing up a real human.
Yeah,
And then all the actors have to do this, like trying to fucking D up a CGI character. You know, they're all touching the air and doing all this dumb shit. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
I'm not a fan of it. I'm not.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%, Manny. I would rather watch Passion of the Christ in German than I would watch this fucking movie.
So there's rumors. So these are the ones. These are ones that are not confirmed. There's rumors that like people from Harry Potter, the Wizard of Oz, and the Matrix. They're thinking Agent Smith is going to be in this.
Bruh.
They're thinking Agent Smith from the Matrix is going to be in this. These are rumors. Right?
I really hope that happens so you can just have Hagrid in the background, like, you're a wizard, Harry! And he just runs out onto the fucking field. Before Dumbledore died, spoiler alert.
The thing is,
and he just comes out dribbling a ball.
I can actually see them trying to shoehorn Agent Smith in just off of the Matrix trope joke of the...
Understand the slow-mo movement, but Smith is not a part of this universe.
No, he's not! I don't get it.
Neither is fucking Harry Potter. You Expelliarmus Patronum the ball? Get the fuck out of my face.
Bro, it's gonna be wizards riding brooms playing basketball. It's gonna be a shit show, bro. It's not gonna be a fun watch. They're going to try to shoehorn every bad trope joke that they can inside of this movie, and they're gonna just keep trying to hit until they get something that hits, but everything's gonna miss, and they don't get it.
They need to hit themselves in the face, because this is absolute shit. This is at like the epitome of what cocky would be if it was to fall out of me right now, would be this movie.
This is like, so remember how Not Another Teen Movie was a bad movie, but it was really fucking good, right? But it was meant to be really bad, so it could be really good. And then they came out with Not Another Teen Movie 2, and then all the other fucking niche movies after that. This is what the niche movies are after Not Another Teen Movie. This is what this is. It's going to be trash.
You almost hit me in the eye.
I'm sorry.
I know you're upset.
I'm passionate about this.
But don't physically abuse me on the podcast. See, but that's what I'm saying, Ray. Like, if they animate all of them, then I'm with... Get it out of my mouth. Get it out of my goddamn mouth, you son of a bitch. You know what? That's it. I'm leaving. And that's what I understand, Ray. Like, if they animate everybody, that gives you a better plot. I'm not gonna say the movie's gonna be any better, because there's characters in the movie that shouldn't fucking be there. What the fuck is anybody from Harry Potter's universe gonna do? What are they going to throw a snitch up somebody's asshole and watch them fly to the hoop?
In the Matrix. Why would you have the Matrix cast in this? Why?
So you're going to have Keanu. Keanu's just going to come in? Whoa, basketball.
And that's it? And if I had to guess, Keanu's not coming in this movie. So if they do put Keanu in it, Keanu is going to be animated. But then you're going to have Pennywise not animated. I don't understand this shit. It's actually tilting, right? It's tilting. This is a travesty waiting to happen, and I can't wait to see it.
And I understand it because, like, Bill Skarsgård, obviously he wears the Pennywise suit, and he does phenomenal. None of that is CGI.
Here's the thing. They said in this movie, that he's going to be full CGI. You're only going to hear his voice.
Just made him then. What do you want? This big, lanky, fucking piece of shit. We all float down here. Touch my dick. Like, who wants that? Yeah. And he's all fucking dancing? No. Can we cancel them? Can we use cancel culture to get them?
Dude, isn't that what people do? They start a fucking a petition, right?
A petition for cancel culture.
Yeah, let's
cancel
petition
culture,
Space Jam 2, and let's just say, I don't know, fucking, something offends me. I don't know what offends me. I don't know. Pennywise eats kids. That's promoting pedophilia. I don't want this movie to go out. Boom.
Yeah, but why would they invade a WB studio, right? Like, I'm getting what you're saying. But what the fuck? Like, who does that? Just give me an F in the chat for this movie, because it's gonna tank. That's what I'm looking for. A fucking F in the chat for this movie, because it's absolute trash. Thank you. It's not gonna hit on any level. I'm sorry, there's no way.
It's nothing but bad stuff around it. You know what? I'll tell you what. If anyone wants to make a bet, I'll make a $10 bet this movie flops. $10 bet for anybody.
I'll put fucking 10 pesos on that shit.
$10. $10 this flops. Straight up. If you want to go against me, go against me. I'll write down the date. I got the fucking stream up. I'll clip the shit. I'll save it. Doesn't even matter. $10. This movie flops. Doesn't flop, you get $10. I won't even make it a two-way bet. That's how certain I am. That's how certain I am.
That is gonna flop. That's how certain
I am. Make a bet with me. If the movie flops, you don't have to give me shit. If the movie does well, I'll give you $10. Who wants to make that deal? Because I'm not paying anyone any money because it's fucking flop.
I'll put an extra 10 pesos on top of yours.
It's straight up.
I back you 100%.
Straight up. It's not. There's nothing about this movie that's going to work.
No. Nothing. Sadly, there is zero about this movie that's going to work.
Oh my God, there was a left button click. What?
Oh my God. Bruh. That is the witch from the Wizard of Oz. What is this movie?
Need I say more?
And speaking of cancel culture, didn't you have something to touch on today?
Yes, I am.
For our good old friend?
Oh, speaking of which, who's the Ellen DeGeneres fan?
Not me.
Huh? Because she is the most nicest, most awesomest woman of the television right now, right?
The decade.
The decade, right? She gives away stuff. She helps out the little kitties.
Oh, matter of fact, hold on, Diddy. To address you real fast, Manny, that's fine. It's okay if we give him shit and he has a lot of fans, because that means more people will come watch. So, like, clip the video, fuck it. We don't care. At this point, if we get hate, we get more views. That's great.
Yeah, don't care. Ellen, she's a saint, right? She helps out the kids that are bullied. She gives away stuff. She touched on these heart-wrenching stories, and she seems to care about everyone in the world, except for the people that fucking work for her, right? So this thing has been going.
She's a massive piece of shit.
Yeah, she is literally a massive piece of shit underground. So apparently there's been an investigation on her and how all of her employees are felt, right? Where, her work staff sends like racist memos.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they send racist memos. They treat their workers like shit. They talk bad about them. They just say sly remarks to them. They make them get them stuff. They degrade them. And, Ellen might not be directly tied with this, but she has known about all of this stuff that's going on. And now all of this stuff is coming out of the woodworks, right? There's stories on it. People are giving statements on what happens. And it's too late for Ellen to kind of dial back everything, right? She's let it go on for so long. She does not know how to handle it. And because of this, she is finally talking about canceling her show.
So hold on. Let me get this right. So they informed her of the racial memos being sent out, or any anti-racial shit that was going on in the office, or racial shit that was going on in the office. So she knew. She just never took action?
Yes, the toxic work environment claims were made throughout her long-time show, and she's never done anything about them. None of the allegations. She hasn't researched them. She hasn't looked into them. She just let them go by, and there's been multitude of allegations sent to her, and she just doesn't do it.
So she's just blind-eyeing all of this shit.
Yeah, she blind-eyed all of it. Now that it's popping up, she thinks the only way to save her brand is to cancel the show before it gets any worse than what it already is. So the Ellen DeGeneres show,
already.
It is down to be canceled, and it looks like James Corden is going to be picking it up, or possibly picking up where she left off.
That's even worse.
Yeah, he's not a fun. He thinks he's funny. He's not a funny dude in my eyes, but whatever.
He's not, and ever since his movies are shit. Might I add?
Absolutely. So right now it's in talks that it's coming to an end, but she's under a lot of fire for just letting toxic shit happen, which is crazy when you think about it, because to her eye, to the public, her brand is her helping people out, her stopping toxicity from around the world, her stopping people from getting bullied, her big upping the little man, right? That's what she does. She has fun with people that come on her show, and she helps out the little people, but she can't help out the little people that work underneath her, which is mind-boggling, right?
Why would you protect your brand
by doing that?
Like, honestly, the problem with that is I'm a little out of focus. Please hold. Come on, camera. There we go. The problem with that is that it starts from the ground level up, right? All these multi-million-dollar corporations that have people that are running fucking TV shows and all this other shit. It's kind of like I watch Achievement Hunter too, right? And Achievement Hunter, I used to watch them all the time, and they had the same shit happen where they had African-American employees that felt like they were being disregarded, disrespected, and higher-ups knew about it. And they finally decided to make a change after somebody had noted it, quit, left the brand, and then went back. It's shit. It's the simple fact of the matter is that as a person, even if I owned a multi-million-dollar business, as a person, you still want to be one-to-one with your individuals. There's no other way to look at that. Like, I don't understand how you could. She's raking in fucking bucks, dude. Raking in bucks every week. Somebody's like, oh, on Ellen, wow, we have fucking Justin Bieber fingering a goat. Ah! And you're bringing in revenue like a motherfucker.
Here's what I don't understand. Even if you are a piece of shit, right? Let's just say, I mean, she is at this point in my eyes, but roll with
She always
what I'm
has
saying.
been. I've known she's always been a miserable fuck to all her employees.
Roll with what I'm saying, right? Even if you are a miserable piece of shit and you don't care about people, your brand is helping people out. It would help your brand out more, and it's a good PR move to be like, hey, look, something's going on with my business, and I fucking fixed it, right? That would be a smart play, right? That's an opportunity.
But closing it
to
makes it look
money.
like you knew the issue was there. Closing it makes it look like you knew the fucking problem was there, and you're not gonna fix it. You're just gonna let it rock.
And that's, it seems to be that's the decision she's going with, and apparently she knew what's going on. She could just apologize, fix it, and move on her career. It's a hurdle she can actually jump if she actually put the energy into it. But she thinks it's gonna hurt her brand so bad that she's just gonna fucking stop. Fix your fucking brand.
You can't even. You have to think about it like this, right? There's no predecessor to her. So even if if she was behind the scenes, she could easily step down into a different position, right? But you're on air every week. Everybody knows you in the name of your brand. And don't get me wrong, I'm for supporting anybody's life who's miserable or has hardships or any of that, and has no means to make it up. And yes, your brand does that. But now your brand goes down as a fucking racist, conniving brand based off of what you had in your employment roster. And then backing off and being like, I'm just going to step away now. It doesn't make it look any fucking better.
Hey, Ellen, people are making racist remarks and there's a toxic work environment going on. No. No.
Check last week. Don't worry, I'll be fine.
Right? What the fuck? But then you get a news article, fucking, black kid gets hit by a car, bring him on the show. Yeah, bring him in, let's help him out. Handle your fucking business. It's actually sickening.
It's the thing. It's like, especially this year, this year has brought light to a lot of situations that need to be adjusted. And I think that this year it's the year of cancel culture. You say anything out of line, out of whack, like how we are, right? We say how we feel off rip. Like, you don't like it, you don't fucking care for it. We don't care. I could really care less about how anybody feels. But when you look at it in such a wide spectrum, when you have a company that is helping so many people, like kids are turning to you and being like, that's my idol. And now you're going to be like, racist accusations. Dog, I'll see you later. Like, I'm going to head out. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, take the heat head on. You're still, regardless how you look at it, you still have all your money. You still making all your money off your fucking brand. Just address it.
You can fix your brand. You can make your brand stronger by admitting you did something wrong, fixing the wrong that you did, right, and doing better. That's how you fix your brand, and that's how you make it stronger than it was before. You will lose people during this, but then you'll gain so much more back because of the way that you handle it. The way
but
that
it
you
also
handle it now,
shows you're a fucking human,
right? You make mistakes, right? You're right.
Nobody wants you to just right? Like, when we do shit that's fucked up, right? Like when you're streaming and we say some risky shit, right? We know we fucked up and we like backpedal a little bit. But at the same time, when you're in the limelight, we're not in the limelight. Like, in total right now, we got 6 people watching. Not in the limelight at all. But grateful, 1, for the people watching, and 2, they know the same as we do, that when we say something that we're for it. And in this aspect, she's stepping down, making it seem like I'm for it. Okay, I just let this happen. I'm going to just let it rock. Like, it shouldn't be like that in anybody's limelight. No. You need to address it, especially as a fucking employer. You sign their paychecks.
Take immediate action. Not, I'm sorry, I'm stepping down. That's the wrong way to do it. Hey, listen, I'm sorry, I'm doing an investigation. I'm helping these people out. I know it should have been done sooner. Whatever, right? Be honest, be open, and fix it. But just saying like, oh shit, the world knows now?
I'ma head out.
I'm out.
Night, girl.
What the fuck is that, right? Like,
and like, that's the biggest thing, like, with big corporate companies too, is I always see it as an issue as well. Like, anytime they catch flack on any of the issues that are ongoing now, so many people are so willing to just step down and resign and back out, and they're like, oh, we're catching heat, I gotta dip out of my position, CFO, CEO. Why don't you just fucking address it? Like, I think the only reason why she's not going to address it is because if she addresses it, they're going to be like, you're a fucking racist. You let this happen. You're a piece of shit. And she don't want that. So I think it's fear of the media, one, because the media is going to fucking rip her apart.
They're going to rip her apart more now because of the actions she's following.
Right, because now it's like, all right, well, there could have just been an easy way to fix this, but how come Ellen is backing out? How come she's going to step down? How come she's going to cancel a show? How come James Corden's fat ass, who's unfunny, is going to get the show? Like, nobody wants that. Nobody wants what they don't want. And for you not to grab or grasp responsibility as a human is fucked. And like, that's the biggest thing with people, I feel, that make millions, right? You forget where you came from. You forget about how hard it was to build everything up from the ground up. And, like, all responsibility is always overtuned by, I got a bunch of lawyers, they're going to handle it, don't worry about it. Like, regular people, like, okay, let's put it this way. If I was driving a fucking helicopter and chopped up, like, 6 people, flew into a building, it blew up, I survived. They'd be like, how'd that happen? Explain it. And I'd be like, I don't worry about it. Somebody else is going to figure it out.
Yo, you know what, Rod? You just brought up a good point. I wonder if they take her Nobel Peace Prize away from that, because they've been doing a lot of take-backs. They've been doing a lot of takesy-backsies when somebody been put on the stand. They've been grabbing some stuff. Yeah, they've been grabbing, bro. Like, you mess up. You were Player of the Year. You were this. You won this. Yo, that she might lose that Nobel Peace Prize, bro. She might lose it. Like,
she's about to get a Nobel Sleaze Prize.
And I wonder to a certain extent if, like, what she's doing now and how she's handling it, to a certain degree, tarnishes people who were on her show to do the right thing.
Absolutely.
Right? Because, like, Will Smith was on there, like, giving people daps.
Oh, nah. Him and Jada's thing is still a thing, bro. We don't even need to touch on that. Because that is a whole different entanglement. Out of here. Excuse me. God, that was horrible. A fucking entangle. Bro, go back to Ellen before I get tight.
On next episode of Melatonin Milkshakes.
Entanglements. Tuesday's episode brought to you by Entangled, motherfuckers.
But you know, back to the point, like, anyone who was a guest on her show, to a certain extent, and it might not be wholeheartedly, but to a certain point of fan base, it tarnishes their name because of her. And it's like, she doesn't care about that neither. Anyone who her name is associated with, this will affect. And her not giving a fuck.
Not so much of a bad limelight as her, though. We have to think about it like that.
Yeah.
Because they're still going to be like, well, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, but then like, you make a really good point there, too, because you got to think about it like this. Anybody who's come on the show, they're going to be like, yeah, you know what? Ellen did say some slick shit to me. Or, yo, Ellen's person who bought me coffee, they said some slick shit to me. Yep. And then it's going to start racking up. Like that. See, that's why I can't first of all, I can't fucking stand 2020 because everybody's got something to say. Let me say it now. Let me say it real fucking clear for everybody to understand. Okay, I'm gonna get real close to the fucking mic. If you got a fucking problem, say it out loud and let everybody hear it. Say it with your fucking chest and stop being pussies that hide behind people. I can't stand that. Stop letting shit 4 fucking years ago that happened come to light now. Listen, if I hit somebody with a tractor trailer in 1886 and my fucking ancestors were pilgrims picking up fucking turkeys and the turkey pecked your eye out, and in 2020 you're going to be like, his family sold turkeys and he hit me with a trailer. Go fuck your mother. It's not worth it.
You're right. There's so a fucking noise. It's like all hands go up as soon as one person brings up something.
It's insane.
Which I'm not against to a certain extent, right? If, you know, if something happened to you, bring it up to the light, right? I'm not saying...
If the allegation is true, I'm all for it.
I'm not saying... What I'm not saying is keep your mouth shut. I'm not saying don't talk, keep your mouth shut. What I'm saying is if something happened, fucking say it. What irks me is...
And why sit there for so long when it boiled up?
That's what I'm saying, right? You have a right, and I want you to get your justice. If something bad happened to you, I want you to get your just dessert, right? But don't wait... 20 years for someone to raise their hand, and then 30 people, he did to me.
Bro, that shit is the most frustrating thing.
And it's selfish. It's selfish, right? It's selfish to a certain extent that if you would have brought your hand up then, maybe the other 20 people would have not happened. I don't know.
It comes back to like how I feel, where people are sheep, right? One thing happens, everybody else goes, and then they just fucking pay attention and do the same thing.
Yep.
That has to stop. Like, me and you, forward-thinking people, right? You have a problem, I have a problem. We go, all right, here's your side, here's my side. All right, fuck your side, fuck my side. Okay. And we're cool with that.
And we're cool because we respect each other's opinions.
We don't have to agree on everything, but the thing is when there's a problem like that, like Cosby, right? When his allegations came out, Make the fucking allegations known then. The man's blind. He's like half a fucking Riri in jail. He's fucked. And 30 years later, you're like, oh, by the way, I was on the Cosby Show and he did on my bum bum. What the fuck? That's exactly. If you say it, 100%, Manny. If you say it, have the fucking proof. Don't just pull everything out of a hat. Because allegations are, especially now, like in these times now, anybody who catches a rap for an allegation is getting fucking pinned, dude. No matter what it is. Anybody says anything in 2020, it's like, he sucked my big toe when I was 12.
And that's annoying because I do get that people are shitty, but the false allegations, it is what really gets me. That's not right? Like, come on, like chill the fuck out with that shit. But
if you have no premise behind your fucking words, don't open your mouth. That's how I feel. If you ain't got no traction, like if you say I ran you over with rollerblades when we were fucking 3 years old, bring me a photo, motherfucker. Show me the mark, something. I need proof that I did it.
Yeah, but like I said, back to the matter at hand. Ellen, piece of shit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Her brand is garbage. It's tarnished. There's no way.
If she handles it the way that she's handling it now, it doesn't come back at all, and it looks like James gets a free ride to something else that he doesn't deserve to be on.
Which is not going to make his platform any better.
Nope.
You mean Epstein, Manny? Because Epstein's a different story, bro. That man been fucking around in Hollywood for the longest.
See, Epstein I kind of get, though, because Epstein did his instruct pure fear into people. So I get why people came out on him late versus other people. Like Epstein...
The manifest of fear, like how much did he scare you? Because you weren't going to get a role? You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, it wasn't just because you weren't going to get a role. Like, if you're used to Hollywood, Epstein had the power to get you out of Hollywood, period. That's what power he had. Like, if your livelihood...
You diddle a couple assholes the wrong way, and apparently it don't turn out too good.
And that's your dream or whatever. Like, he can crush dreams. That's what Epstein does, right? He had the power to do that. And that's why people were scared of him and scared to come out. It's like, fuck, I'm done in Hollywood if I don't abide by this guy. Which I do get to a certain extent, right? He just instilled pure and utter fucking fear in people. And until people, knew that, hey, this guy's going away, I can say something now and be safe. That's when people came out. So I understand it to that extent. Like,
that kind of brings up Weinstein. I'm sorry, man. Yes, him as well. That kind of brings up like the caveat of like how the mob is, right? So okay, Italian heritage, right? The mob don't exist, but it's the same fucking premise. Anybody opens their mouth, you fucking find yourself in the bottom of a lake, or your kneecaps mysteriously break.
Yep.
It's the problem nowadays too, and it's like it's a blessing and it's not. With the virus, it's kind of halted everything down to a slow pace. I feel like we were all moving too fucking fast. Everybody was on go, and everybody's like, I gotta get this, I gotta do that, I gotta get I gotta become this, This finally took us back as humans to go, I gotta really look at some shit. And like, I've really gotta focus on what the fuck is going on. Because everybody is so front-facing that they always want to get what they want to get with no repercussions. And with the way everything was picking up, it was getting way too fucking crazy.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, it's a blessing and it's not. Because one, we're all stuck inside. We're all not fucking doing anything. We're all either working from home or just bored out of our minds. And, people don't take it as seriously. And it all comes back to, like, how you're put, like Ellen's situation, you're put in such a position of power. You have that media fucking glaring at you. You let this slip and it shows that you just don't want to understand regular people's problems. Your fucking money don't make you no different than me. I've always felt that way. Managers, fucking CEOs, CIOs, CFOs, doctors I've talked to, everybody. You're no different than me. At the end of the day, you get hit by a car, I get hit by a car, we still bleed. Your money don't define you. And the problem is that everybody lets power get to their fucking head. And nobody knows how to be real. Everybody backs out when a situation hits them and they go, oh, I can't say nothing on this. I can't say nothing on this. Be real.
Yep. So, but yeah, that's all I got to say about her. I think we're pretty much done for the night. Next week though, TikTok.
Yeah, we're gonna fucking touch on that, boys, because China has TikTok in America, and El Trumpo wants to ban that shit. So Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, we're gonna touch on the current situation for TikTok bans. That's gonna be one of the topics. We're not gonna keep giving you guys fucking handouts telling you what we're talking about. God damn it.
No,
but
no.
We, from this point forward, it's always good thinking to kind of have an open aspect as to what we're saying. Again, both of our opinions are our opinions. If you feel any differently, you can. You absolutely can feel we're right or we're wrong. We're just two guys that see things in a similar light, and we both understand that real is fucking real, motherfuckers. And everybody out there, you should be worrying about when you're going to get your muffler sucked or your pee-pee touched, and you got to stay real in these fucking times, because that's goddamn sure what I do.
Yeah, he said it all. Not me. I have nothing else to say. I am done. If you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me on Twitter, _petty_god on Twitter. You can reach me on YouTube, the Petty God, and you can reach me on Twitch, which you're watching me on at the Petty God on Twitch or whatever it may be.
Twitch.tv/the Petty God.
It's been real. We'll see you guys Tuesday. Emilio, take us out.
Everybody, thank you for coming. Don't forget to hit the follow button if you enjoyed. We loved having a podcast. Again, we're going to have one again on Tuesday. Anybody feel free to come back and enjoy. And don't forget, stay real out there, motherfuckers.